Welcome, students, to Youtober, Day 6. Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to Youtober, Day 6. I have quite an interesting video, one I'm a little apprehensive about making, but we're going to make it anyways. Today we're going to talk about dark academia. Now, before I begin, I want to stress very much that everybody has their own opinions on what actually is dark academia. I've even seen light academia, which I kind of understand, don't understand, but we're going to talk about dark academia. As I said, everyone has their own opinions on what dark academia is. I'm going to share with you what I think it is, some books that I've read that I feel like has elements of dark academia, and then share with you some books that I hope to read in the future that has dark academia elements in it. So, where do we begin? Let's talk about dark academia and kind of, I guess, where it started and some things you can think about when picking out a book that is dark academia. So dark academia, from my understanding, started out as kind of a Tumblr aesthetic. People were posting things about what they saw as dark academia on Tumblr. So a lot of people don't consider books a genre at all. And we're going to come back to that, because when you see different people's videos, they say it's an aesthetic. So think a school, a prestigious school such as like Harvard or Yale or Oxford. Think of, maybe sometimes I can see, and we'll show up in one example, a high school that maybe is a private high school or university, some people call it. So think private, prestigious university. Think of people wearing, professors wearing tweed jackets and brown pressed pants and suit jackets and ties. Girls wearing pleated skirts and long socks and penny loafers. Think maybe the fall season. Think dark, very dark. I also too, when I look at dark academia and I look for it in a book, a lot of times you'll find a character is new. They're kind of coming into this school for the very first time. They're kind of looked at it as an outsider, but somehow this new person kind of gets tangled up in the web of a secret society, a murder, or just some things going on in the school that maybe they shouldn't have found out, but they found out anyways. In some cases you might find dark academia, a school would be a magical school. So bonus if it's a magical school, like a magical Oxford. So those are things I kind of look for when saying, oh, that's dark academia. Now, here's the big question I have for you all, and I want you to think about this and answer it down below. It's a question I feel like I haven't seen anyone propose this. Seeing as everyone says dark academia is a aesthetic, a lot of people also consider it not a genre. When you're looking to books, it's not a genre. However, I personally feel like maybe dark academia, the popularity of it has grown so much, has it become its own genre? Have we turned dark academia into a Tumblr aesthetic, into a popularized genre? What do you guys think? So with my jumbled explanation of what dark academia is, I'm going to show you some books that I've read, that I've loved and enjoyed, and some books that I want to read in the future that is considered dark academia. So let's get started. I'm going to start off with my very favorite book off this list. It was my favorite book I have read all of last year. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I really want to do a reread of it now knowing what I know at the end, and that is Bunny by Mona Awad. So, Bunny fits into this because you have a prestigious writing school, and we find our character. We follow Samantha, and Samantha is a student at the prestigious Western University in New England. We also find there is a cliquey group who call themselves the Bunnies, who oddly speaks like, "Good job, Bunny. Oh, that was great, Bunny. Good job, Bunny." So Samantha finds herself swept up in this world of the Bunnies, and she is invited to go hang out with the Bunnies in their fabled smut salon, it says in the back. I had to read it because I forgot what it says. From there, I feel like reality just, you can't tell what is going on. This is why I want to reread this book, because I feel like there were details in this book that I was like, oh, shoot. I feel like that was given away. To me, Samantha's kind of an unreliable character, just her thought patterns, and then you got the Bunnies mixed into it. It's a really wild psychological ride, again, taking place in a university setting. So we have dark academia. You as a reader are trying to figure out what is real, what isn't real, and then of course there's a death at the end, which will blow your mind. So I highly suggest this book. I can't suggest this book enough to people. A lot of the girls, it's where I work, is starting to read this. So yeah, Bunny, you want a messed up wild ride for your dark academia fix? Here it is. Next on the list is one that I'm almost finished reading, but I think I can confirm and say yes, dark academia. And that is The Atlas 6 by Olivie Blake. This follows Here we follow 6 talented magicians who has the opportunity to compete for a spot with the Alexandrian Society. Here they will learn and then go against each other in a battle of skill and wit. However, one must go. They can't keep 6. Only 5 will survive. So the big question is, who will survive? Who will be able to take part in or as the new caretakers? So as much as this is not really a school or university setting, there is a lot of, we do follow the characters as they have the opportunity to study the library, the secret library. There is a ton of studying. There's tons of mastering their skills. It's just it's very dark academia, like low lights. I have images of candles and studying. I love this book so far. I'm getting towards the end. I'm like on page 270, and it's starting to be so good. I also want to note there is a self-published version, which is this version, and there is a traditionally published version out. I hear the two are different. Have you read this? Which one have you read? Have you read the self-published one or the published one? Let me know down below. What is the difference? What is the difference? I guess you can tell me, because by the time this video goes up, I will have finished this already. So, The Atlas 6. Alright, next on this list is one that I just devoured and I freaking loved. And that is The Zodiac Academy by Carolyn Peckham and Suzanne Valenti. So, we're dealing with magic now. Now we're dealing with magic schools. I think Bunny is the only one on this list that deals with, like, not magical, really, and not, although, I don't know. See, that's the messed up part about Bunny, is you just don't know. You don't know. If you've read it, you know. But your brain still doesn't know, if that makes any sense. Anyways, we're not talking about Bunny. So, this follows 2 twin sisters, Darcy and Tori Vega, and they find out that they are heirs to a kingdom of fae. However, they need to go to a school and pass their school before they can take claim to their throne. If you've read this book, you know that it is very similar, some would say eerily similar, to Harry Potter. We have our two characters going to a magical school. There is 4 elements that they can be placed in, just like the 4 houses at Hogwarts. This is also a really good one. If you read Harry Potter as a kid, as an adult, and you just want more, but you want more blood and swearing and just the adulty things, this is the book for you. All right, the next one on the list I haven't read in a very long time, but I saw it on somebody else's list and I go, yeah, that sounds kind of dark academia to me. It's a magical school. You have someone trying to learn how to hone their powers, and you have an outsider. Perfect. You have a mystery. Perfect. And this may be an unpopular opinion. I don't know. But we have Marked by PC and Kristen Cass. I haven't read this book in a long time, but I instantly thought of this book. I said, hey, doesn't this girl go to a school? I don't know. But we have a vampire as our main character. I'm going to read the back for you just because it's been so long since I've read this book. I was going to try to read it before I filmed this, but that didn't work out. So, enter the dark, magical world of the House of Night, a world very much like our own, except here vampires have always existed. 16-year-old Zoe Redbird has just been marked as a fledgling vampire and joins the House of Night, a school where she will train to become an adult vampire. That is, if she makes it through the change, and not all of those who are marked do. It sucks to begin a new life, especially away from her friends, and on top of that, Zoe is no average fledgling. She has been chosen as a special by the vampire goddess Nyx. Zoe discovers she has amazing powers, but along with her powers comes bloodlust and an unfortunate ability to imprint her human ex-boyfriend. To add to her stress, she is not the only fledgling at the House of Night with special powers. When she discovers that the leader of the Dark Daughters, the school's most elite group, is misusing her goddess-giving gifts, Zoe must look deep within herself for the courage to embrace her destiny, with a little help from her new vampire friends. So, as you see, we have a school setting, we have Zoe as the outsider coming in, we have this little cliquey group. So that, to me, seemed very dark academia-ish. So yeah, might be an unpopular opinion, but I feel like it goes along with, if you're going to include the Zodiac Academy, and then, spoiler alert, Harry Potter's coming next, because you can't have a dark academia list without Harry Potter, I feel like. But this kind of happens in the same realm to me, except for Fae and wizards, we have magical vampires. Alright, so last on the list, like I already said before, is Harry Potter. I don't know where book 1 is, but this is my favorite Harry Potter book out of the whole series, and it's The Prisoner of Azkaban. We're not going to talk about Harry Potter much because I feel like everybody and their brother and mother and sons and daughters knows about Harry Potter, or you have at least watched the films. This, to me, is very cozy, dark academia. I want to curl up in a blanket, and this is dark academia. You have your Hogwarts, your magical school. You have an outsider, Harry Potter, coming in as an outsider into the wizarding world, and he's got all these things that show up in school that he has to deal with. Each book, I feel like, has its own mystery, normally surrounding he who shall not be named. There's always a little hint of him until you get to the last book, and then you're like, okay. So yeah, there's a great mystery surrounding all of it. You're in a prestigious wizarding school, you have an outsider, you have magic, you have mystery. It's Harry Potter. It's Harry Potter, guys. Hello, dark academia. And there goes my neighbor deciding to do things outside. I'm sorry. Okay. So next on the list, I have 2 books that I have possession of, and then a couple other books I kind of want to do a, what's it called? An honorable mention of, I want to read these books. I want to get these books, but I haven't gotten them yet. So the next 2 books that I show you, I have physical copies of. I'm just going to read the backs of them to you because I haven't read them yet. I don't know much about them. And then the other ones I'm just going to kind of mention on the screen because I feel like they've been talked about a couple times. So the first book I have here is The Maidens by Alex Michaelis, featuring my annoying Target sticker. First of all, this cover is pretty dark academia, right? Edward Fosca is a murderer. Of this, Mariana is certain, but Fosca is untouchable, a handsome and charismatic Greek tragedy professor at Cambridge University. Fosca is adored by staff and students alike, particularly by the members of a secret society of female students known as the Maidens. Mariana Andros is a brilliant but troubled group therapist who becomes fixated on the Maidens when one member, a friend of Mariana's niece Zoe, is found murdered in Cambridge. Mariana, who was once herself a student at the university, quickly suspects that behind the idyllic beauty of the spires and turrets and beneath the ancient tradition lies something sinister, and she becomes convinced that despite his alibi, Edward Fosca is guilty of the murder. But why would the professor target one of his students? And why does he keep returning to the rites of Persephone, the maiden, and her journey to the underworld? Oh, I didn't know that. I love the story of Persephone. When another body is found, Mariana's obsession with proving Fosca's guilt spirals out of control, threatening to destroy her credibility as well as her closest relationships. But Mariana is determined to stop this killer, even if it costs her everything, including her own life. Ooh, okay. Why haven't I read this yet? I don't know. This sounds good, though. The other thing I really like in dark academia, too, is if, as the reader, you go into the book going, okay, there's a murder, and then you're kind of going throughout the whole book, piecing it all together. Like, you know who the murderer is, right? And then it just pieces itself together throughout the whole thing. I really like that when you start off with the murder. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean by that? I'm adding this to I forgot how good that book possibly is. Okay, next on here is a young adult one I got in a unplugged book box. I've heard a lot about this school setting. We've got school settings, we've got students trying to figure out a mystery, and that is Ace of Spades, and I'm gonna try. I think you say her name, and I'm sorry if I get it wrong. Fedaria Abike Eminati. Hopefully I said that right. And this cover is really cool. Oh, and I still have like my signed book plates and stuff in here. Cool. When 2 Nevius Private Academy students, Devin Richards and Kamaka Abiado, are selected to be part of the elite school's senior prefects, it looks like their year is off to an amazing start. After all, not only does it look great on college applications, but it officially puts them in the running for a valedictorian too. Shortly after the announcement is made, though, someone who goes by Aces begins sending anonymous text messages to reveal secrets about the 2 of them that turn their lives upside down and threaten every aspect of their carefully planned futures. As Ace shows no sign of stopping, what seemed like a sick prank quickly turns into a dangerous game with all the cards stacked against them. Ken, Devin, and Chimaka, is it Chimaka or Shimaka, stop Aces before things become incredibly deadly. With heart-pounding suspense and relevant social commentary comes a high-octane thriller. So again, we have a prestigious high school, private high school in this instance, and we have students trying to figure out a mystery of who Ace is. All right, so then I have 3 more I'm going to put up a cover on the screen for you of ones that I don't have, but I'm sure you've heard of and I want to get a hold of just to get some more ideas. So the first one I have on my list is Babel by R.F. Kuang. If you have watched Youtober Day 1, you already saw I tried to get my hands on it, but it is so popular right now that you can't get a hold of it. I can't get a hold of it. Unless I want to order it from Amazon, but I don't want to do that. As you can see, I already have an Amazon buying problem. I have a book buying problem. I buy too much off of Amazon. Anyway, so there is that. What I actually have coming in the mail is a lesson in vengeance. I have that coming very soon, so it's another dark academia book that I'm looking forward to reading. So that is my list of books that I have read so far in dark academia, ones that I want to get to, and the ones that I don't quite have in my possession yet, but I want to read and get a hold of. What books have you read lately that is in the dark academia, I'm going to say it, genre? I feel like it's a genre now, right? Sound off down below. Is this still an aesthetic or is it a genre? I feel like it's a genre. Let me know what dark academia books you have read. What ones are you looking forward to reading? Let me know down below in the comments. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I'm trying to do a video every day in October for Youtober. And yeah, all my links are down below. What I'm reading, my Goodreads. There is a plethora of different things down there. Check it out. And with that, I will see you guys in tomorrow's video, which I believe is either a book haul or it's a book unhaul or an unboxing. I don't know yet. This Chelsea currently does not know what tomorrow's video is going to be, but it'll be up tomorrow. I'll see you guys real soon. Bye!